If you don't know my name, it's Leo. I am dad to Katie. And welcome everyone. It's great to see everybody here, all looking smart, presentable, and celebrating these two getting married, which is fabulous, isn't it? Mm-hmm. My duty is actually to talk about Katie, then to talk about Matt, but I'm not tempted to do that actually. I want to talk about both of them, because it's the pair of them together which is working the magic for these two, don't you think? Yeah, absolutely. Everything I've seen with these two is the magic between them. I could talk about them separately, and they're both separately great people. Matt's great bloke, absolutely 100% good chap. My daughter here, I love her to pieces. You look absolutely fantastic today, Katie. Absolutely fantastic. But I think together you're an absolute magic pair. Magic pair. Having said that, no, there's no jokes. No jokes coming. Can't do jokes. But I was short of some advice to give them. But luckily, I met Declan today, and he sold me for £2 a good quote to give to both of them. And I've purchased it, and I'll show it you now, if I've still got it. Have I still got it?
I hope so.
I've lost, yes, I've still got it, here it is. Ah, here we are. Okay, and it's quite appropriate really. When it rains, look for rainbows. Okay, and over there we have, when it's dark, look for stars. And there's a message there, isn't it, for a happy marriage? Don't you think, Declan? Before I just give the toast, I'll just give you one quote, which I think is a great one. It's from the Beatles. It's one of their songs. It's, love is all you need. All you need is love. And now I'd like you all to just raise your glasses and let's toast the bride and the groom. Cheers.
Cheers.
So, ladies and gentlemen, I am going to use a microphone because I seem to be hooked on using microphones now. So I've got a bit of a speech. I haven't had a chance to print it off. I've got it on my phone so I can kind of go for it. So here we go. Leo, thank you for your speech. Very good. On behalf of myself and my wife, I'd like to thank everyone for coming today. As I know some people have travelled long and far. Zoe, you travelled down. Janie, Finn. What about you from Ireland? Very good, thank you. And everyone else.
To be sure, Paddy.
I've lost my string of what? 2 seconds, guys.
Yeah, that's it.
So, I'm ditching that. So, I'm sure everyone would like to put their hands together and really thank Katie for organising and putting this together, because I can take no credit for this. I remember the first time I met Katie. We arranged to meet one day after work. She picked me up in a car a mile away from where we arranged to meet, but that was another story. I had to run up and meet her. We went down Jolly Jack's, didn't we? We sat down, we had a coffee for an hour and a half, 2 hours was it? And it seemed like 10 minutes. And we clicked. Remember sat there, Katie was telling me about her family, and I was talking about my family, and she started talking about her dogs, and I just sort of drifted off. And she picked up on it. Little did I know that a few months' time those dogs would come to stay for COVID, and they'd never gone back to Plymouth. But we've shared many a happy time together. We've been through a lot together. 100 Ks we did together, which was fantastic. I think Katie's really taught me a lot about life, family, friends, having to look at things with a different perspective, and just be a little bit kinder and warmer and appreciate what I've got. So I am very lucky looking around the room with my friends and family. So thank you all for being here. So Katie, darling, love you. The best man. So, a few little words about the best man. So Sean, I've known Sean about 6 years. We've known each other for many, many years, but we've been close friends for 6 years. We've been for a lot, we've had a lot of good times, some sad times, helped each other out, shared a bed a few times. Lots of stories to tell, really struggling to think of some stories to tell here today that are age appropriate. But yeah, thanks mate. And also our wingman sat next to you, Dexter, I'll give you a shout out as well. If you were a bloke, you'd have been the best man as well. So yeah, thanks guys. I don't really think I've got anything else to add to my speech. It was quite sort of heartfelt and just saying really thank you all. You know, I love you all to pieces. So thank you very much for coming. Sean, all yours. Sorry, I didn't do the toast. So everyone, would you like to raise your glasses to Mrs. Stevens? Yay! Mrs. Stevens.
Thank you very much. Not sure I can follow all that. Even the cake's in tears. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, boys, girls, LGBTQs, MGBs and GTIs. Thank you to Leo, Matt, for the introduction and words. Can I just say, don't these two look absolutely beautiful together? Congratulations. Before I begin, I must admit, Matt and Katie have asked that I remove anything resembling innuendos in my speech. So I promised, if I come across anything slightly risque, I'll whip it out immediately. So I've known Matt way back when I was at school in my teens. Yes, I knew him when he had hair. When he was a young boy working down the family veg shop with my mates Spencer and Ian. Now, I knew Ian, your cousin. He was the first person I sat next to in school when I was 9 years old, when I came over from the Muff to Tor Point. And that's way back in the 80s. It's a harder one, isn't it? So, wind forward a little bit, well, actually quite a bit, to 2017, where our paths crossed again at Tor Point Blazers. It's a running club, which Flick was also in the group. I think, Nat, were you in the group as well? For a bit? Yeah, there was not many Blazers going on. Lucky I was able to keep up with the pack at the front, which was mainly, well, Flick and Matt and I. And our friendship kind of kicked off from there, really. Over the preceding years, we hung out doing lots of varying distance running events, including those marathons which included copious amounts of alcohol. So I thought I'd talk a little bit more about those adventures, as you know, some of it I can kind of talk about. My first encounter of an alcohol-infused marathon was the Medoc Wine Marathon in Bordeaux, 2019. The theme was superheroes. Matt was a beautiful brunette, Wonder Woman. Myself, a luscious blonde, Wonder Woman. And it seemed to attract a lot of attention from the Chinese ladies for some reason, wanting lots of selfies. We were also accompanied by Flick was She-Ra and Hamish was He-Man. I don't know if it got round, so it was all one suit. It was like 27 degrees. Anyway, it was such a laugh, and you know, we had a hangover before we even started. Drunk more wine throughout the marathon through 20 chateau stops. So it was a bit of a mess, really. But you know, it was a good laugh, and we did actually get we were asked to leave an Irish bar for being too loud and leery.
Never.
Really never.
It did happen. It did. I think they were worried they were going to run out of rum, I think. And there were a few casualties along the way, but, you know, pizza. Anyway, and Matt may have had a bit of a panic when he was locked in an auto toilet. But thank goodness the door released in time. No, we weren't holding the door shut at all, were we? The next standout event was the Pirate Scuttler, which is a half marathon from Land's End to Cape Cornwall. So it's a pretty rugged event, that one. So Flick, Janie and I, and Matt, we did that one. Matt was Captain Guyliner.
Yeah.
Me, I was Captain John O'Scrope. Janie was Captain Swashbuckley. And Flick was Polly the Giant Parrot. There was no drunk drinking on the run, but plenty of drinking around a campfire, dancing to it, weren't we, Matt? Yeah, so you were dancing over it, actually. Yes. And it was the most silent disco you can imagine on a campsite. Luckily, we weren't kicked off the campsite on that occasion. As you can imagine, Matt took his pirate role very seriously and took great pleasure in R-ing behind people all day. He and Flick even got best fancy dress, which you mentioned just now. Many a pirate joke was exchanged. Isn't that right, Janie?
It is. So, what did the pirate say on his 80th birthday?
Ha I'm 80!
Oh my god.
Flick?
How much did the pirate pay for his earrings?
A buccaneer!
How do pirates prefer to communicate? Eye to eye. No then. I thought the Meadow Wine Marathon couldn't be outshined, but oh no. Last weekend, Matt, Flick and I ran the Belgian Beer Lovers Marathon. You know you're in for a good weekend when the accommodation has Club D-Max opposite, thumping out tunes till 7 a.m. So, also we had no hot water in the accommodation. So we had Wim Hof style showers every day. A mediocre bed, coming to that. A mediocre bed that, as Matt mentioned, I had to share with him, much to his delight. Although we did have guests as well. Oh yes, we had maggots in our kettle. Yep. And a Belgian bum in the stairwell. Yeah. With beer cans and body fluid aroma to boot. Yeah, this is not good. Anyway, this meant we were forced to stay out and party on a Saturday night before the marathon on a Sunday, where Matt enjoyed his first karaoke experience. Yeah, and it was hard to tear him off the bloody stage, to be honest. But he was fighting for his right to party. Yes. And Flick found a thirst for gin and lemonade, which she's drinking now. Needless to say, we started the beer marathon a little bit worse for wear, but the guests opposite us in the flat were also running that day, all suited and booted by about 7 a.m. So we, with their ghetto blaster, danced around with them in the corridor in our pants, didn't we? Flick was in the shower.
You missed it.
Yeah. The theme this year was movies and cinema. So Matt was the Hoff from Baywatch. Mitch. Thank you. I didn't know his name. And Flick and I were his lifeguard buddies. I thought we were the ones needing saving, to be fair, at the start anyway. However, we somehow completed a beer fueled marathon with much cheer and relief, which none of us really trained for, to be. Not funny. No. Now, you may have picked up that Matt likes to dress up. He particularly likes to wear a wig or two. or 3. And he's been known to film himself in the shower, cleaning his hair, and prance around the garden with nothing but a pigtail blonde wig. I've got the evidence, but I'm not sharing it. It goes without saying, this man has become my best friend. We've been through a heck of a lot the past few years. We've laughed, we've cried, we've hugged, we've sighed. We've supported and helped each other through throughout, and I know he'd do anything for me. The most funny, mischievous, caring, kind and generous man I know. Also, towards the end of 2019, he was matched on a dating app with the delightful Katie. Although I believe a tad disappointed that he didn't get a nice bun on his first date, as he received from a previous date. Although he was afraid to eat that bun, just in case it had been spiked. So did you eat it? No. Right. Special guest. No. So Matt and Katie's first date was a lovely rainy day in Devonport, apparently. Katie picked up Matt from work, although got the dot gate mixed up. So Matt had a mad rush around from St Leonard's to Albert Gate and up to Co-op, where she eventually parked. They proceeded to Jolly Jack's on this and several dates thereafter. Although saying that, date 2, he thought it a good idea to go for a swim at Nuffield Health Centre. They started their swim, Matt and his budgies, obviously. However, didn't realise that it'd be descended upon by an aqua aerobics class, and had no option but to join in. They did get the chance to relax in the hot tub after, although the temperature of the water wasn't the only thing being raised. Sorry about that. I've been told not to mention the Valentine's surprise involving a lustful incident over the kitchen table, so I won't. They also did the coast to coast 100k from Minehead to Dawlish, which, yeah, I'll tip your hat to that. That's an amazing achievement. I remember picking them up about 5 AM on a Sunday morning. Matt saying he had his eyes closed all the way through Exeter and saw vividly the man in the moon, which transpired to be a railway sign. It's a little bit tired. Why did I write all this? Let's just say they've hit it off from the very start. A perfect match. These two have been solid throughout their relationship with a lot of ups and downs, twists and turns, and challenges to overcome. We are all here today to celebrate a truly loving relationship. Katie has brought the best elements out of Matt, enhancing his life immensely. No one else could have brought so much excitement, joy and happiness to his life or each other's. You both have a lovely, splendid, blended family which has grown recently. Please raise your glasses and toast health and eternal love and happiness to Matt and Katie. Thank you very much. We have a little something from Molly.
I don't know if I'm going to use the mic. It puts me on edge. No, I'll go for it. So when I got asked to do this speech, I was like, oh God, what do I say? There's so many things that I could say. But mainly, thank you so much to both of you, because you've always been there through everything. And you mean the world to me, both of you. I think I've loved you both so much, but I realised how much I loved you when I had my son, because it made me realise how much being a parent means the world to a person, and it made me realise how much you both do for me. although I did realise it before, definitely. When I was a teenager, was the worst teenager ever, ever. And I don't know how my mum put up with me. Yeah, but now you're my best friend, and my mum, and the best nana ever. And Matt, honestly, the best person to have walked into my life for a very, very long time, apart from Ruben, because no one's going to beat Ruben now. You treat my mum amazingly, and you treat all of us like your own, and I love that, and it's really, really nice, and I appreciate everything you do, absolutely everything. And I look forward to all the other memories we're going to make together as one big family with all the children, little Ruben, and it'll be nice. And just a big cheers to both of them for being amazing people, and I love you very much.
So, I thought that was the speeches, but I think Kate, you want to say a couple little words just to round off, darling? You can stand up. Come on.
So, I don't know how this is going to go. You're going to stay right next to me.
Okay.
So for the last, oh my goodness, 3 months I think, I have been trying to do a speech. And I've been, I suppose people that know me, I've constantly said to people, I'm a little bit busy, which I have been. And every time I've gone to sit down and have a couple of minutes to just have 5 minutes, those 5 minutes haven't happened. But I wouldn't change it for the world. I love our whole growing family to pieces. I'll just go from here, Cody and Declan and Amara and Isla and Josh and Michael, okay? And everyone. Hi Rose, hiding over there. So you all mean the absolute world to me, first of all. It's not the tradition for a bride to stand up and say anything, but I wouldn't say I'm not very traditional. I'm a little bit different, should I say? So I might as well not change that today. Looking back at what I did starting to make notes of, I started off the speech by saying the word hope and believe. So for me, those are two words that really mean a lot to me, and I would say that every single person here, hope and believe, will be very unique to everyone here in their own lives for very different reasons. And throughout my life, I had hope tattooed on my forearm around my 30s, and believe tattooed on my other forearm around when I was around 40 for different reasons. And I suppose I was always kind of had different hopes at different stages in my life. And then came Matt. And it's not easy when you're meeting somebody with children. And I suppose you're always looking not just for the perfect soulmate and the perfect person for yourself. You've also got to look for that perfect soulmate and the perfect person also for your children too. And I have to say, the day that I met Matt, he talked so fondly and highly of his two sons, Josh and Michael. For me, that was a gold star. Because somebody that was sat there and talking so proudly of his own children and prioritising them, for me, that was like, this is something good here. So here I am on our wedding day, and I think my hopes and my beliefs that I've had that have gone along and Matt, I feel really strongly that will continue to support my hopes for the in my life and support me with those, but also the word of complete. So I will be having another tattoo somewhere, and that will be of the word complete, because Matt completed me along with our family, and so I just want to say thank you and I love you.
Well, cheers everyone.